First map of Dust 2. Voca starting on the CT side. I believe this is AM Gaming's pick. Very aggressive start to Voca's CT side, rushing down mid with 2 players. No damage done either way. A little bit of sound delay. Kato not able to take out Junior, but Infinite does get another one. So there's 2 more players for the T's here. And it's all into Infinite here, but he goes down on suicide. His teammate on short was not able to support. Altex is going to try and lurk out on B. George is like periodically watching this, but he's on 1 HP. Carson's going to be in the right spot for this mid pick. Looked like that first shot was right on, but he just goes down. Heavy advantage for the T side here of AM Gaming. Can I turn this up a little bit? No. Well, I can do... How is it for the stream? I didn't check the... I need to wait for there to be sound. So Altex is lurked into B. He's sitting here in car. But Snav is pushing lower tunnels, and he might find a timing. He just missed it. That was the bomb, the last one going in. But Snav does find the kill onto QB, but QB was able to throw the bomb across to his teammate to get that planted. George, ooh, had such an opportunity to get a kill on a guy looking the wrong way. With 5 HP, not able to get anything else done. Has to be a 1 versus 2 for Snav, but he doesn't check car. Goes down. Pistol in for AM Gaming. A little bit of ticks, so I believe we're going to be having a tech pause here. That fight right there is what Voca really needed to win that pistol round. Not really sure what the issue is here. I don't see any like officials doing anything. So maybe it's maybe they're just off camera. How many water bottles does Carson need on his desk? There's what, like 6? Interesting to see the IEM Katowice 2024 monitors. I guess maybe they upgraded to like some crazy high refresh rate and they gave away their older ones to a tournament that's not as doesn't need like 600 hertz or anything like that. Instant replay for that back rub. Thank you. hear people buying. Thumbs up. Not thumbs up. Here, I'll join these guys and make myself a panel as well. I don't want to change the size because then I have to change it back. Wonder if game 2 is started for the G2 Aurora game. It has. Aurora won the pistol and the follow-up. Interesting, HLTV doesn't show the score as 1-0. It still says it's 0-0. Well, now I just look like I'm out of place. No, don't move that. I was just like, oh, I should put the Pro League game on. Just like, oh no, we're back in. Okay, we're good. Great. Forget about that. Then I'm like, oh, I'm not allowed to put Pro League on because I don't have a... Where do I put my... Hang on, let's move myself up here. So I'm not covering in there. Okay, so Junior, the scout, gets smoked off, takes a shot off. George actually did a very deep push into long doors. Takes quite a bit of damage for his troubles, but is able to get away in time. Junior responsible for these people are going to be coming up cat. Need to hit some nice shots, or at least get some damage and fall off. Those two smokes make it very hard to get an angle. Keto drops CT. That's going to be heard. Junior just no-scopes him. Okay. He does go way too deep, and then Snap's not ready for the exact same angle. Carson's gonna throw this nade, but there's no one low at all. It doesn't even do very much damage. QB might get caught off, although he was not exposed to that long angle. So he's gonna hear George behind him, but George is actually not going to check that angle, so he's just gonna let him get away. And no exit kills to be found for Voca. Infinite? No, okay, he does cross the long doors. I was worried because he was trapped where he was. He was going to go down to the bomb. Why did Keto die there? I don't know if he took some, like he probably took some damage from the fall, but it shouldn't be enough to make a scout a one-shot. Junior, another scout buy, this time pushing up mid again. 4 players from AM Gaming I just realized the scoreboard is wrong. That's okay. Thank you for fixing that. Wow. As soon as I noticed. So there's 4 players out here on long. 1 player just lurking in T-spawn. The only issue for Voca is, although they have a lot of players in the right place, they don't have any guns really to contest this with. Although, as I say that, George does get an MP9 kill. I think they were really expecting or hoping for the scout from Junior to do a lot of, you know, tag damage, and hope for these lower powered weapons to do the rest, but then George is not ready for them to be deep into the site, and he goes down as he gets boosted into the site himself. Now Carson's going to be mollied out. Another MP9 kill. I mean, this is more damage than I feel like AM really wanted. Snav repositioning, but just with his HP, I feel like... Actually, I didn't realize the HP was so low on the side of AM Gaming. This is not impossible. The way Keto's playing it, okay, I feel like it's... makes it much harder. And... okay. A reposition from QB as well. First gun round for Voca. Junior getting that AWP out. QB with the op as well. I believe that's just because he got a spawn. He's going to be mollied, and he's going to trade that over back to Lumi. Carson with a really aggressive position in B. He gets two. Actually, no, it was Infinite who traded him. So one-man advantage for Voca. Everything kind of goes quiet after that initial contact. Although, as I'm saying that, all three players from B looking like they want to make this a B exec. Two players here from Voca. Everyone else is very far away. It all relies on Voca getting his util out before AM are able to get into the site, and that molly goes down at the perfect time. That's going to block them, and then they smoke it as well. Oh. I'm covering the kill feed. Hang on. There, that's better. I don't know about that from Infinite. I don't know if he took some chip damage from someone spraying through the smoke, or if he just went 100-0 in that molly when there was nothing else going on. George does have a molly, but it's going to go down too late. Although AM Gaming, they could have just rushed out, but they don't do it. They wait that molly out. Now there's another one coming in. This one they're going to have to go through. George on the site, his teammate goes down first, but then George manages to get 3 kills somehow from the same position. I'm confused by Infinite's tan, because he's like his eyebrows are not tanned at all. I don't know if that's just like the hair that protected his skin there, but it looks a little silly. All right, a buy coming out from AM Gaming, using the last of their money to invest into this round. Not as good as their previous buy, but there is a compromise on the side of Voca as well. Infinite here on this MP9. Keto coming out tunnels. He might have a timing on Junior. Junior just gets a shot off, but it doesn't connect. George is going to be watching for this mid-doors cross, and Milty just kills him. Four players lining up for a cat push, and then Keto just annihilates Snav. No one left on the site for Voca, so that's going to be a 4th round for AM Gaming. Crazy entry from Keto, knowing he had an opportunity to push ahead of that Molotov and just hitting a nutty shot. AM Gaming happy to trade that scout that came into that previous round with an op. It's a nice upgrade. And they're just content with letting Voca save these 2 guns.
Terrorists win.
So what are Voca going to invest alongside these saved rifles? Having just won the previous round, their loss bonus is not going to be very high. This is that spray down from George where he just goes unchecked and gets 3 kills. A little bit of a sniper fight going on between Junior and Lumi. No one coming out any worse to wear. How did Carson get his hands on an AK? Not sure who went down with that. Shadow advantage for George means he gets a man advantage early, and he's going to push back into mid. Nice supportive flash to make it so he can retreat from tunnels, but then Keto brings down Carson, making this an even man advantage, but Junior just gets a wallbang. Okay, wallbang headshot. Okay, I thought George was the one who got that kill, and I'm like, how? So Snav had the info that the op was here, and that's the last player left alive for AM Gaming. Snav really tempting fate here, just continuing to jump across this gap. Lumi here probably not going to get away with this with this op. He's going to get flanked, and there comes the kill from Infinite. I feel like George is the real hero of that round there for Voca. Getting that opening kill and then falling back extremely quickly to long doors, getting one more kill and then baiting his teammate to get another kill. Full long play coming out for AM Gaming. Snav, the only player here, not looking to contest it at all, just falling back to the site. Junior wants to peek this with the op, but he's fully blocked by the smoke. Unless he can get a fight onto the back plat player, but Altex gets a kill through the smoke. I don't know if that was a spray through the smoke that gave him vision or if it was a nade, but Junior trades it, sees another player back plat, but then too many players on his screen for him to get any more kills. Infinite is killed by the player who's just... Wow, okay, just clean headshots coming in from AM Gaming. Bomb has been. Junior just does not hit the shot onto the guy back plat, and then the rest of AM Gaming take that missed shot as an opportunity to just swarm onto the site. Ooh, George has been seen crossing into lower tons, although he turns back. No kills across either side. Carson has silently pushed up mid, and he might have a timing here. Maybe he's not expecting it, and there's another player here, but Carson's going to fall back in time unless... No. Okay, so there was one kill coming in from Suicide onto the player, Carson, who was retreating back mid, and then another player came in from lower tunnels, and there's another kill that came in, another fight that came across the B main, and then 2 players here from AM Gaming take care of the long play from Snav. All left onto Junior in a 1v3. There's a player in Cat who he's not ready for. He's going to go down. Yeah, Voca invested all of their money into that previous round and losing it and with the way that they keep trading back wins, they're going to have almost no money in the bank, and they're choosing to full save, other than a few upgraded pistols. Not really the fight you want to be taking with a MAC-10, but Keto actually has not actually taken much damage at all, and AM Gaming have fully made it into the B site. It's now a 1v3 for George. Not really any guns that you would want to save into the next round. There's that MAC-10 on Keto. Does he know he has to defuse the bomb? Ironically, if he had held that for like 5 more seconds, he would have gotten the fight he was looking for. He probably would have lost it still, but... Although now he can maybe take a fight, but it's a disadvantaged fight nonetheless. AM Gaming just don't want to give it to him, because they have nothing to gain from it, really. Voca have gotten this op out for Junior, and he really needs to find some early impact with it. This game can't keep running away from Voca Gaming. It's not Voca Gaming, I think it's just Voca. Whatever. AM Gaming, Voca. Those are the teams. So we have Keto very quietly, but pretty quickly lurking up Cat. No one's watching this, but he's not going to find anyone unless people start to fall back from long. Snav has his knife out, so he's going to be caught unawares, but he doesn't actually receive any damage. The bomb is going to be following Keto up Cat. He's yet to make it into the site, and some nice nade damage onto Keto. But AM Gaming will get the bomb site and get the bomb planted. 5 versus 5. Junior gets the opening kill onto Lumi. He's able to fall back to back plat. How late does this lurk from the long doors wait? Just long enough, because now Junior's not ready for it. So QB gets the kill, but it's a 2v4. He gets a second, but then Altex, okay, they know there's one player here on Altex, but there's no kit for the bomb. And so Snav is just going to have to try and defuse this in the smoke. Altex is running out of ammo. He's not able to find the kill. What a crazy round. I mean, I did say Junior had to find impact with the op, and he absolutely did, getting 2 kills in that round, but only one player surviving means that their economy is still not going to be very good. He had the right idea, but just that Glock just kind of tickling Snav only gets about 30 damage from that. QB again with the op, the good long spawn, he takes the op long. Not able to find any shots. Trades it back over to the opera of Lumi. Multi has lurked out the mid doors, but Junior's watching this. Okay, Junior's going to be nading the smoke. Lumi, I believe it was blinded, and he just took a blind shot and he killed his teammate. So this is now a 2 versus 5 in the favor of Voca. Junior has more targets if they're wanting to take the fight. Lumi has jumped across with the bomb, but he is just trying to get a fight. Infinite is going to be pushing lower tons. He will not be watched. You know the last player is here as well, but Lumi's able to get the kill. He does have... Okay, no. There is a player from Voca who has acknowledged that the B side is empty, and now Lumi is just waiting around mid. Unlikely to get too much more. Once he gets a nice shot onto Snap. Snap has seen him. He's going to drop a smoke. Was that a leg shot? Bit of a messy spray from George, and then he gets a kill through the car. And so now Lumi actually has a bomb plant available to him if he will commit to it. Snap being so low means he's just going to be hiding in CT. Lumi hits a crazy shot onto Snav on a jump shot. Wow, that was a 2v5. Did he get 2 or 3 kills there in that 1v4? That might have even been a 1v5, actually. Because he got the first kill onto Infinite, who pushed lower tons, and then the crazy shot onto George at the car, and then the jump shot onto Snav. So yeah, that was 3 kills in a 1v5. He did get a leg shot onto that no-scope onto Snav. Lumi again gets the op-out, and he got an opening kill off the cross. But there is a double op-out for Voca. Infinite with the second one, and he's very exposed, and there's people flanking him on both sides. He doesn't actually manage to get anything done. So this last round will be finishing on the B site. Ooh, Ultex is blinded. Snap gets the kill, but then traded out by Lumi. Keto gets a second one, and now they know that Junior is here with the op. He has a tough job watching for a lurk that's not going to end up coming. Please don't save. Okay. He does get flashed, but then Milty plays it safe and does not go for an over peak. Keto getting that final kill. He had a very impressive half. He's almost looking like 2020 or 2021 Keto again. Okay, so Carson was the one who originally started with the second op. He took that fight onto Lumi, and Lumi won, and then Infinite picked up the secondary op. So 8 rounds on the T side for AM Gaming. A good T side. Voca were able to bring that 7-2 to an 8-4, so it's a little bit of a recovery, but it's still not the best CT side for them. Carson taking a very long-range block fight. Does actually do more damage onto Lumi than he takes none in return, so I guess that's a success. Everyone here from Voca just sitting in mid. They're going to be flashed out through mid doors, so we're not going to see anyone and fall back. Looks like AM Gaming just want to play the sites. So Voca throwing that mid to B smoke, but then AM Gaming have a player watching from window, so they'll see that there's no one coming. But in the meantime, it's a 2 versus 5 on the A site. Keto gets 1 kill and goes down. Milty falls back safely. Snap gets a second kill. There's 2 more players here in CT. Milty was the long player, excuse me. So it's all 3 players left in CT. Junior gets a fight on 2 people not looking his way. Gets a second and a third with that jump down to CT. Snav and Junior combined for all 5 kills. If Voca are going to make the comeback, they definitely needed the pistol round to make that happen. Two players from AM Gaming have aggressively pushed up tunnels, but the player here for Voca, George, is just playing it passively. George does peek onto that last player, but everyone else from AM Gaming has left the B site, and they're all rotated here already onto the A site. Carson's gonna see 2, 3, so they know that they're all here. But the weapon advantage from Voca is just too strong. And so it is a clean 5 players alive round from Voca Gaming. I keep saying Voca Gaming, from Voca. Yeah, Lumi getting caught without his gun out, which I feel like that's where you want the scout to be, but you kind of need to be holding it for it to shoot. I liked the plan that AM Gaming had for their second round, but they're playing this more eco round in a kind of a more default heavy way. And they have lost the man advantage. Looking like they want to do another cat push like they did for their pistol round. AM Gaming have decided to stack onto this A site yet again, but it didn't work for them in the previous round. They had better equipment for that. We'll have to see if this lurk from George decides to push out onto B and clear out the B site and call the bomb back. It is looking like they want to do a mid to B split, which would be the correct call. Then the question is, do AM Gaming decide to have someone spam this smoke and try to get some chip damage onto the players crossing to the site? It would be a risk, but I feel like it's a risk that they should be taking. And they do wait it out, and now Altax is just getting slowly chipped away through this box. Keto does get 1 kill onto Junior, so that is a weapon down, but not recoverable. Okay, QB does hit a second deke. And a third! Oh, sorry, that's the second kill. That's the third kill in the round. So actually a meaningful amount of damage coming out from AM Gaming on that buy that really didn't have any business doing anywhere near that amount of damage. To be fair, if Voca really wanted, they could have just played it in the site and not have 3 players go down to the deke, but I guess they wanted to hunt. That's that NA playstyle, baby. So people are running around, as I can hear. It looks like QB just got blinded. Someone's got an op-out. Okay, actually not much has happened. No damage exchanged. Voca leaning towards a B push. 3 players going to be coming out long. We'll see if Miltsy is cleared. QB does get the opening kill through the smoke, and Miltsy gets 1, but then goes down to Snav. So now it's just Snav here at long with the bomb and 2 players on cat. He's gonna get flashed through the smoke, but he's only able... Okay, he does get 1, and then QB is the one who gets both, and then Snav is gonna take a ton of damage trying to cross onto the site. He's just not able to make it. So good response from AM Gaming. Interesting buy coming out from Voca. Although, taking a timeout, they have Okay, they actually are going to fully invest in this. I thought they were going to do a hero op buy, which is an interesting call, but no, they are actually all buying around this op. So Junior's going to be trying to take an early op peek into the B site, but I believe he's smoked off. He does actually get the kill. I think that was a molly instead. I don't know the icons, excuse me. QB is spotted here in car. He does get one before he goes down, but then Infinite gets a third kill onto the B site. And so now Keto hears this one player lurking in mid, and he tries to chase him, but he doesn't get the kill. Junior looking like he wants to peek, but he's being held. Junior's not looking the right way exactly. But Keto actually decides to take the... well, he decides to do something else. He decides to go and just stay with his team up in mid. So that will be a response back immediately from Voca. Carson will find Keto, but he loses the fight. And there's probably not going to be any further hunting for Voca. So AM Gaming do have a full buy. The only downside is that they're not able to afford an op. The op from Voca is just taking a standard peek down mid from Suicide, but AM Gaming have actually decided to leave mid completely empty this round. It's looking like it's going to be a B play. Voca have thrown a little bit of utility up cat just to keep players here. And it has worked. There's 3 players leading towards the A site, but as I say that, it looks like Keto is starting to... Okay, with that smoke, he thinks better of it, but he's going to be watching this mid to B after this smoke fades. Or he's going to nade this smoke open, and he would catch Snap off guard. He does get the kill, and there's another kill as well. Infinite's the only one who gets anything done, and then Carson is blinded in the smoke. He's behind all these players from AM Gaming. Can he get anything big done? He gets the 1, and a second kill on a player, and a third, and now it's a 1v1. The last player is here on QB, but there's only 10 seconds left. He will be able to get this fight, but I think he has bad info. He thinks he's Car. Yeah, QB wins that on time. It seemed like Carson was really sure the player was going to be Car, but he was not at all there. He was on the square box instead. He just didn't consider any other possibility, which was interesting. So, I'm not sure where he even got info from, because QB... Yeah, it looks like Keto got the most recent kill for the side of AM Gaming. So Voca have cobbled together a buy, but this boosted op on Cat is probably going to be catching them off guard. Lumi does find the open kill onto Junior, and he falls back. Voca waiting out this cat smoke. If they are able to get onto the site, they would have a clean bomb plant to be found. Although now there are players in the site, so it won't be as easy as it was. Not that Voca could have known that. It will be all 4 players coming up cat. One player will drop CT. Snav is going to catch the op off guard, but then it's this player up on cat that's going to catch him. And Snav the only player to get any kills in that round. And that was a force buy from Voca, so this should be pretty much map point guaranteed for AM Gaming. Voca do invest just a scout into this round, and Junior finds the opening kill off the back of that. We'll get another fight. He does get a tag onto Altex with that op that he picked up off of Lumi. So this round that I said was all but guaranteed, not looking so guaranteed anymore. It's looking like Voca want to have all 5 players come out from B, and there is only this op and back plat to watch this. Hard to get a multi-kill if he gets overwhelmed, and Junior just finds him. And so that's a 3v5 with the bomb. Well, the bomb site's Junior gets another kill? Can Keto save the day? He was definitely the hero in that first round. He's going to get caught. Junior gets a 4th kill. He gets 4 kills in that round by nothing but a scout. That was crazy. And wow, definitely a bit of a caster's curse there for AM Gaming, saying that that round was so guaranteed, but Junior just hits some very clean shots. Getting that opening kill scout headshot onto the Opera of Lumi, and then tagging the second player who picks up the op, and then finding him to open up the B site. Insane. And now it's AM Gaming with the worst buy. Voca picking up 2 rifles, and then they have enough money to get those 2 AKs, as well as that op out for Junior. Another B lean, this time much earlier in the round, but they're going to get smoked off. Voca clearing out mid after leaving it empty for the first bit of the round. But AM Gaming have not played mid at all either. Voltec's just jiggling this corner, but we'll see if it's okay. Actually, he does have a little bit of vision ahead of that smoke, but he's just gonna throw his own smoke in return and fall back. He will get a fight, a little bit of a weird angle, so we'll see if Voca's ready for it. Keto actually picks the perfect time to push long doors. Gets an opening kill, and now there's going to be rotates here on the B site, but then Voca have taken the site. There is just QB here playing... Oh, Keto gets a kill from tunnels, but then QB thinks that's the perfect time to activate and go out window, but he actually gets caught by a player holding. So they know there's a player here. Keto gets taken by that op, but it goes through the box and he doesn't get a kill. But Junior switches to his pistol. They know this last player is window, and Junior is just looking so clean today. Wow. Clutches that out for Voca. Full eco coming out from AM Gaming. I'm not going to say anything about the probability of the round and how this is unlosable or anything like that. But it is all 5 players here long, nothing but a flash to go off of. Voca have cleared out the B site, so the bomb will be making its way. It's just going to be Infinite holding this long push, which I think is probably very much expected, but he's going to fall back after getting flashed off. Infinite does go down. It's that double instant thing from the USPs. Snav, I wouldn't fight this. Okay, he does get a clean headshot onto Keto. I'm just thinking of that the third round of the T half when Voca was on the T half, and they lost like 3 players to that Deeg on QB from Car, just for no reason at all. So you don't want to see that again. And Voca, it seems that they have learned their lesson, and they're not going to fight anymore. They're just going to let AM Gaming have this AK, and they're not going to be able to recover anything else. So 11-11. Who's going to be finding match point first? AM Gaming have gotten this op out onto Lumi, but I feel like he hasn't done much with it this second half. Voca this time have opted for a fast a fast long play, but then Milty's able to find the opening kill through smoke. Someone's gonna have to come up big here for AM Gaming. Milty actually pushes through that smoke, and he's able to get one before he goes down, so it does leave the man advantage still in play. Lumi finds Snav trying to boost up into the site. It's now just a 1v4 for Junior, and he has looked really good this map, but I don't think he's looked good enough to pull this off. There's even a player coming in from long. Though Junior is pushing forward, I mean, for what purpose, I don't know. I think he's going to get cut off any second. Yeah, goes down. So match point found first for AM Gaming. Voca do have enough money in the bank to come up with a buy into this one round to try to bring it across into overtime, though. That was a ballsy play from Milty. More or less a full buy from Voca. Just that one Galil on Infinite. Ooh, Voca, after getting destroyed so heavily in the previous round, they decided to do the exact same plan and go out full towards long, and it resulted in an early 3v5 in the advantage of AM Gaming. The person is able to find one in return, and he's able to clear the guy in pit, but then this op from Lumi finds him, so now it's Junior in a 1v3. More doable than the previous round, but not very doable. This time, however, he does have the bomb. He does have an open B site, not that he would be expecting it. He almost had an angle onto Altex, but Altex was playing it more passively, so he doesn't have this info, but in return he doesn't go down either. Yeah, Junior's not expecting this site to be so empty. He uses that molly to clear out back plat. But now the players for AM Gaming will be starting to rotate. All 3 coming towards Tons. Hard to win this with that AWP. Misses that opening shot. That makes it pretty much impossible. Yeah, he can't get anything done. So that will be AM Gaming taking the first map. Good showing from Voca. I mean, I think it all comes down to the fact that their CT side just wasn't good enough. But they made it competitive at least. I feel like on the side of AM Gaming, the first half it was the story of Keto. I believe you got 14 kills in the first half. And the second half, it seemed like it was QB. So the Germans coming out for the side of AM Gaming, really sealing this win for them. But then Junior on the side of Voca was kind of also very good throughout both halves, but not quite good enough. Let me pull up HLTV so I can get the full stats for that match. Yeah, so Junior top fragging for Voca, but then it's Keto and QB on top for AM Gaming. Keto with 22, QB with 20. I'm curious who's IGLing for the side of AM Gaming, because I believe it's Lumi who's sitting in the middle, but I didn't think he was an IGL, at least on his previous team of, was it Matesport, I want to say? All right, I feel like I've seen enough highlights. Don't know if we need to see all the highlights for every single round. The rules say there's 10 minutes between games, so I'm going to take a quick be right back. Feel free to get a drink or some snacks or whatever. I guess I can at least leave it on this view because it has the timer going down. I guess I could do predictions. I mean, I don't know if anyone actually does them, but might as well. All right, what is going on in the EPL match? Ooh, it is all tied up at 10-10. And it's on a tech pause. Awesome. Oh yeah, I didn't tweet before I started streaming. Oops. Been meaning to start doing that. I wonder if I'm technically allowed to cast the EPL match just by looking at the HLTV scoreboard. Because it looks like Xantaris just had a nutty clutch on 16 HP with the op to give them a 1-round lead and only 1 point away from getting match point and series point, actually. Aw, I unmuted that, hoping you would have some nice, like, waiting music, but it's completely silent. I should have my own music if I want to keep doing this, though. Here, I know just what to look up. Perfect. So Eternal Fire actually have found match point. It is 12 to 10. Is this no? This is not an elimination game. Okay, I kind of thought this was an elimination game. So isn't this so much nicer? So who is the last team? Oh, I guess that probably says on the... No, it doesn't. Okay. Yeah, I knew Johnny Speeds had some good wins, so they're in the upper bracket finals. It was BetClick, the other team that's in the upper bracket finals. Actually, did they... Okay, they do have Hades. I thought I looked earlier and they didn't have him, but... Or am I thinking of a different team? I don't know. Yeah, it's funny because I'm just looking at the playoff brackets for this tournament, and I feel like the 4 best teams, I guess, kind of in my ranking in my head, which is obviously not, you know, fair or necessarily right, but all 4 of the best teams are in the same side of the bracket. So you have 100 Thieves, I think, is pretty clearly the top team here. Focus, who have looked very good. They were on like a huge winning streak. Voca, I mean, Voca maybe doesn't deserve to be called the top 4 team because they've only been in NA and they're honestly a new team because George and Junior only just joined pretty much. And then Johnny Speeds. Johnny Speeds, okay. I feel like they can have really high highs. Not necessarily the most consistent, especially not recently. But then AAB, who I'm sorry, but I've never heard of them. BetClick I didn't think was they are higher rated than I thought. Maybe I just don't pay enough attention to them, to be fair. And then AM, who have actually a decent team on paper and like some players who have been playing in Tier 1 and Tier 2 before. And the last team on the lower, not the lower bracket, but the other side of the playoffs was Masonic, who I've never heard of. But they're Danish, and you know, Danish teams just have like a million, like, there's just a million Danish teams with a million good players. AM Gaming starting on the CT side. Huge fight coming up mid. Milty finds 2, in fact 3. Only 1 in return for Voca. And that is the bomb dropped. Carson will be fighting the players in mid to try and recover this, but it'll be tough. I had my numbers mixed up. It was Junior. And so now it's a 1v4 for Carson, and he's on 20 HP, so good luck. Clean pistol round for AM Gaming. Starting this game off strong just like they did the first map. Now, what buy is coming up from Voca? I don't know. Okay, they have opted for the full save. This time they're stacking in mid, hoping that AM Gaming would do the same strat that they did in the pistol round, but they're not going to get the challenge this time. In fact, AM Gaming have already found the lurk of Carson, and so just a crossfire in mid gets everything done, and nothing to be found on the side of Voca. But this will be the buy coming out from them. So looking like AM Gaming want to challenge ramp early. They're going to need open this smoke, but Infinite's going to find a nice adjustment and get a headshot onto QB, and then Lumi's able to trade him, but then 2 more kills coming out on the side of Voca, for the side of Voca rather. And that leaves the A side wide open. Altex and Keto probably just going to opt to save unless they can find a kill through the smoke. Like that. Although with the bomb going down, it doesn't look like they want anything to do with this, even with that 1 kill going their way. Altex with this MP9, maybe wanting to try and get an upgrade, but he does have a lot of utility on his back. So you really don't want to go down and lose that, but you might find Snav jumping around like a maniac. But he is killed by Junior in the end. But the damage is something. What was that like, no, 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 that Infinite just did? AM getting the op out early. Going to be nading this window smoke, trying to find a fight down mid, but he's not able to see anything. There's a second nade, but again, he's not able to see anything. So some early control for Voca and no damage going across. And QB's not ready for this fight early down mid, and Carson will get the opening kill onto him as he's not able to fall back far enough. Nilsey has a lot to do here from Ticket. Catches a nade on the head. He's been seen and he's mollied, so he's not able to do anything. 3v5 for Voca. And it looks like it's going to be another save for AM Gaming. Looks like Voca are perfectly happy to let them save. They just want to build their own account on me instead of damaging their opponents.
Terrorists win.
I'm assuming that they are going to... yeah, okay, so Lumi having a lot of money in the bank account, he's going to drop across a rifle to one of his teammates, and the other teammate buys an MP9. So they do have a pretty decent buy going into this round, see if they can get the lead across. Voca with this nice instant spawn utility. So Lumi is here with the op, but this time he doesn't have any support, so he's not able to nade open that window smoke, and he instead is opting to go towards B, which is not where the bomb is looking like it's trying to make its final way to. Milty is able to get this smoke onto ramp, and then Infinite decides to spam through it, and then Milty is able to track him through it and actually upgrade to that M4. But Carson has come out through Con, and then Junior comes out through Apps, gets one, and then Junior gets a... George and Junior combine and get 2 more kills onto the A side, leaving us in a 2v2. I think Altex might have been seen here by George, who is jump spotting from Ninja. Oh, this op from Lumi is able to see George through behind the triple box. Snap here in Con. He's not ready for this angle from Altex. Yeah, the real hero of that round is Milsey getting that opening kill on the ramp, upgrading, getting a second kill. And then the teammates left are able to clutch the round for them. So AM Gaming have reclaimed their lead from the pistol and conversion round. But Voca do have enough money in the bank to fully invest into this round as well. So we'll see if they can tie it up yet again. Tito is pushing up mid, and it doesn't look like Voca are ready for it, but he gets blinded by the flashes, and actually there's no support here from AM Gaming. So that's a clean opening kill from Voca. Ooh, but Carson pushes too far forward into this op. Four players left from Voca looking like they want to make out their way through apps, but a perfectly timed smoke from AM Gaming is either going to delay them or force them to push through this smoke. It looks like Voca want to wait it out. Although actually, the other player who is here on the B side has rotated off, so it's just Lumi with the op. So you have to find a kill and then fall off. Try to survive. Lots of utility coming in. Lumi doesn't fall for the first player to run past, gets the second player instead. Altex comes in to help out his teammate, but then George finds 2 more, leaving us in another 2v2. with the bomb planted. See if Voca can do a better job than they did in the previous one. Junior here in bench, he sees one player, not able to get the kill. Does get him on the repeat, and then George peeks in, goes down, but then George, nice trade. Junior, nice trade to George. Thank you. So a force buy coming in for AM Gaming, looking like they want to push mid like they did in the pistol round. Messy spray on an MP9 from QB. That's kind of why I don't like it since that update. And then, wow, okay. Voca able to just completely clear out this mid push. Nothing found on the side of AM Gaming. Keto just stuck here close to ramp with nothing but this 5-7, but this thing can do crazy multi-kills at close range. Honestly, even at medium range. Infinite, who's going to see each other first? Infinite's now facing the wrong way, so he will go down to Keto. He does upgrade into that AK, but AM Gaming just have no idea where they expect the bomb to come to, so they're just going to gamble on this B site. And that seems like it's going to be the wrong choice. Although Voca are waiting. Okay, they're waiting to throw some utility. I'm assuming once that bomb plant comes in, it's just going to be a save for the side of AM Gaming.
Bomb has been planted.
It will indeed. That FAMAS and AK worth bringing into the next round. Also, I need to check. Did Milty ace on the pistol round? I remember seeing one of the KD comparisons earlier, and it said Milty was at 5-0 or 5-1. I don't know if that was in one round or two.
Terrorists win.
No, he got 4 kills on the pistol. So that was after the second round. One player from Voca just throwing some mid utility. It looks like the rest of the players will be setting up util for an execute onto the A site. In the meantime, Milty, with nothing but a USP, decides to push through Palace. He just is taken down. Should be playing in the smoke, but George is ready for it. Kiddo, if he spams right here, he might get a kill. But not able to find anything. He's probably just gonna... Do you just save again? Lumi does find a kill with the Fama, so that maybe keeps the avenue open for AM Gaming to have a say in this round. Although Keto now taking some damage, probably just gonna walk away with this AK-47, but Carson's gonna find him before he can do that. Altex has gone unnoticed, but just with this USP is not gonna find anything. Voca looking very good on their T side. So AM Gaming taking a timeout just to sort out their buy. There is enough for all M4s, but there's going to have to be some sacrifices. even with no head armor, Altex is only able to afford a smoke and a molly. Yes, hard to tell from that icon. Miltzy's still the top fragger in this game, but 5 of those kills did come from the pistol round and the eco immediately after. So he has cooled off a little bit since then. Junior looks like he tried to take an early fight from Palace and just immediately goes down to Miltzy. No, to QB. And in the meantime, Snap finds a kill onto Miltzy. So it's a 4v4, but Snap is very low. George holding for this ramp push, but it looks like Lumi's going to give it to him, and George is going to win it out very cleanly. I think he'll know that Lumi wasn't the one who just threw that smoke. So we know there's another player here. Looking like Voca do want to execute onto the A site here. Hearing all that util means that Keto is going to be rotating from the B side, so there will be 3 players here, but it's all going to rely on taking some early damage from that nade. AM Gaming not able to find... Oh, the Keto's farther forward than George is ready for. I was going to say, they might save after not getting any damage through these smokes, but that kill is going to confirm that AM Gaming is going to go for this. Carson Infinite combined. Now it's all onto QB, who's on the stairs. He baits out the kill from that AWP, but he's not able to connect when Carson... Both players running out of ammo, so it's decided by the pistols, but QB not able to find that kill onto, well, either Carson in the smoke or that kill onto the up player on ramp who was so low. Half buy coming out from AM Gaming, mostly stacking towards this A site. There hasn't been much action towards this B site, I think, since that round that brought it 3-3. So 3 rounds straight with nothing going towards B. Altex will find a long-range dink onto Carson. Can he find anything more? No, he'll go down. So that is the B site given away to Voca. Junior will find another. There is players deeper than Junior's ready for, and then Snav actually goes down to Miltzy's MP9. They are backing off, and they are going to play it safe. Miltzy's going to go for a little bit of exit kill damage. Although no one from on the side of Voca is actually heading that way. They're all going to be saving in market. It will be Lumi here with the Deke. He gets 3. And then Junior actually goes down to the bomb, and so there's weapons to be retrieved here. Free AWP. I mean, that's definitely nice damage and some good guns saved over, but they do need, like, AM Gaming do need to start taking rounds, because it is 3-7 for Voca. Just getting towards the end of the half, so that damage that was just inflicted on that previous round may not matter for Voca. Carson has been able to sneak up into Con very often, but in the meantime, opening kills the way of AM Gaming. They find 2 for Miltsy, and then Carson was only able to get 1. Now it's a 1v3. What was a 1v4, it's now turned 1v3 for Junior. He did have a couple of these on Dust 2, but he wasn't really able to get anything done. And with everyone here, I don't think he's going to be able to get anything done in this one either. Let's switch to the AK. So maybe if he gets this kill onto Miltsy. But it's a nasty crossfire.
Counter-terrorists win.
And as I was just saying that, with it being so late into the round, into the half, that damage might not matter, but actually it is starting to matter. Look at the money on George. He has 1,500. Whoa! Whoa! Oh, okay. We're done with that. So 4 rifles, but then this Tech 9 on George. Double up for the first time for AM Gaming. One on Keto, fighting short into mid. We'll get a fight as someone's walking through this smoke, but Carson is able to get the better of him. Actually, it was Junior. But then spray damage from QB is actually able to trade that out, so it's a 4v4 with a lot of damage on Carson. Infinite with just a crazy shot onto Altex, opening up this B site. Voca will get the bomb down safely. Ooh, Lumi's taking some heavy nade damage as well, but then Carson walks into the op that he's holding, making this a 3 versus 3, but there is a pretty big health advantage for Voca. Not with these nades, though. Important fight coming out for Snav. He gets 1, gets a second as well, is able to... Wow, Lumi switches to the pistol, I guess not knowing if there's enough time if he goes with the op, but Snav able to get 3 there from the same position. Great clutch from him. Eight-round T-side for Voca. That's quite impressive for Mirage. I mean, the only thing is back on Dust 2, it was their CT side that seemed like the biggest issue, so we'll see if they're better on their CT side here on their map pick. Heavy B stack for Voca, but that seems to be where AM Gaming want to head. And it gets a lot of info and a nice flash comes in, but still no kills. Does get the first, but he's immediately traded. There is 3 more players here for Voca. Junior gets a second. And Carson. Carson gets 2. It's all into all into Altex here in the apps, but he's not able to even make it out. So very clean pistol round. Geez, is it time to start looking what the decider map is? I think it might be. Ooh, it's ancient, okay. Full eco coming out for AM Gaming. Looking like they just want to do a B-pop. If they go now, there will only be 1 player here, unless George is able to make it back in time. He'll be able to find a tag with that deep, but now he's going to peek deep into apps and he's going to see a lot of players and not much damage found in return, but as the players try to come out, it will be very clean for Voca. There is a potential for that round to go wrong, but does not happen. I didn't think that Carson was going to survive peeking into apps with all 4 or 5 players there on the side of AM Gaming, but Somehow he lives, falls back. George is able to rotate in and clean up that mess. Here's the buy coming out for AM. They really need this one to work, otherwise this is almost certainly going to go to a third map. Leaning towards B yet again. Carson has been spotted. This time he does fall back again. No, he doesn't actually get into the site, and now George is probably not ready for this deep player, but he actually goes down to a player in the window instead, so. Bomb plant found for AM. Hito here, not going to go down. He will be traded by Junior, but it's a 4v2. I feel like if you're Voca, you just save here with these two rifles.
Terrorists win.
Well, that's how the comeback starts if you're AM, but they have a long ways to go yet. One thing I am curious about is Voca obviously being an NA team, they're used to playing like later in the day, so as like a late match that potentially might go past midnight, I'm wondering if a North American team will be used to the time, or because they've just traveled to Europe and they're still trying to get acclimated to the new time zone. If it's better or worse for them, I don't know. Looking like it's going to be the third B-rush in a row for AM. This time, no opening kill found. Two go the way of Voca, and a third. Carson very low, but he gets info. So, he does get one, but he's instantly traded. Now, 1v3 for Lumi. No bomb. Does get the first kind of gifted to him by Snav. 1v2. Sneaks over towards bench. Infinite's watching this, but... Okay, Infinite does take him down. I didn't believe in that 1v4, but I started to believe by the end. Infinite was low, and it looked like... Lumi had gotten across to where he wasn't expected. A bit of an overpeak there from Snav. I think with this scoreline, you can, forget about forget about it. Wow, I'm losing my voice. Full investment from AM, because looking at the scoreline, why wouldn't you? Snav with this position, banking that there's no one coming lower, and he would be correct. Initial fight, Carson just taking that fight dry, and he wins it, and then George is able to get a second. All three players here in mid. Infinite should get this info. Or he's just going to spray all three of them through the smoke. Why not? So that is match point found for Voca. I'd love a replay of that spray. Actually, it'd probably not be that impressive. They probably just lined up. Min advantage found for Voca. Junior's watching this ramp, but he misses the shot. Everyone's blind, so Infinite is actually able to get a kill, but he's traded. All onto Milsey, and he goes down. Yeah, Voca looking much better on their own map pick. We're going to a decider, and I need to get a drink. All right, so we'll probably have another 10 or 15-minute break, so I will be right back. Actually, it looks like both teams have a pretty similar win rate. Voca with 55. That was loud. And then AM with 47%. AM have played it 19 times, the 11 times of Voca, so maybe just having more reps will be an advantage. Don't know what type of teams either team's been playing on it, though. I was just brainstorming things I could do during, like, you know, time between maps when there's downtime. One thing I thought of was, like, what if I just play, like, melee on, like, some of the single player things on the highest difficulty? I'm not going to set it up now because I don't, only 4 minutes left and I'm not quite ready yet, but just trying to come up with ideas to do something. The only thing with that is whenever it starts up, it's like, for some reason, if you adjust the volume in the volume mixer, it just, like, doesn't save it, and so it's just really loud as soon as you open it. I guess I can mute desktop audio before I do it. I've got time for a quick scrandle, rather than sit here for another 2 minutes in complete silence. This one's a bit unfair because this is obviously like a marketing picture, but this one's better. I don't know what a fried banana would even taste like, so give me the chicken. Let me just make this smaller so people can see the timer. I don't like the look of the sauce on the chicken, and whatever the red stuff is on the sausage looks nice, so I'm gonna go with that one. Don't usually vote for Swedish food on this. I feel like it's usually just like weird fish. Doesn't look like any Korean chicken I've ever seen, but it still looks better than that. Beer and a burger for 30 bucks, and it's not a good looking burger. On the other hand, it's just fries with curry sauce. Oh. Figured the price was going to be more of a factor there. Philly cheesesteak. It looks edible. But a 1 pound chicken burrito, I mean, both way too expensive, but I think I'd go for the burrito. That's a weird looking curry, if I've ever seen one. Definitely that burger. For 13 bucks, that's a good deal. I don't think I ever vote for the pies. So give me the slider box. What is that? Is that just a giant chunk of pork on a bun? No. No, thank you. Krappelchen. Are they like donuts? They kind of look like donuts. Cottage pie? I'm not a big fan of cottage pies or shepherd's pies. Okay. I guess we're not immediately going into the game. But that was pretty much the perfect amount of time for that. Here, I'm gonna join the desk again. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, yeah, good point, good point. Yeah, we'll see if it plays out like that. No. I just don't see that happening at all. No. Come on. Be serious. Oh. Looks like we got at least another few minutes. I think the elevator music is already getting on my nerves. Yeah, George was definitely the star in that second map. There was no one who really did that badly on the side of Voca. I think the only one shooting back with any degree of competency was Miltsy, and I feel like I don't know if it was map 1 or there was one match where he did not very good. More highlights. Oh boy. What is this music? Nothing in the Discord, so it's probably not like an extended tech pause or anything. I'll use another couple minutes for players to get ready. I was hoping that as we got to more maps that Carson would add even more bottles onto his desk, but it's actually stayed the same amount. I don't know if that's funnier or not. I'm 50-50 on whether Infinite is just like stretching. That's probably what he's doing, or if he's like doing like a "bring it on, come on" to AM. I think they're not paying attention at all, so it's probably not that one. It's probably just stretching. Probably should not have. Oh, are we getting in? No. I was just going to say, I probably should not have said, oh, it's probably not going to be an extended tech break. Because I've definitely had a little bit of a caster's curse going on today. Okay, it appears we are not doing the knife round on stream. So AM Gaming starting on the CT side, Voca on the T side. Interesting to see AM Gaming not fighting for mid at all, only through Donut. Voca a little bit slower to middle, so they're not going to find any fights just yet. Lumi, as he's just looking a different angle, actually gets dinked, but maybe they're not going to be expecting the second player in Donut, but he doesn't hit the shot even though he had a back turned, and then actually full control of the A site here for Voca. That contact from Infinite will keep that player locked into Temple, but then there's two players who come out from CT, but then Snav is just finding everyone through the smoke. So a nice pistol round win from Voca. So Snav actually had a, I don't know if it was a Gleel or an AK bot, but then he refunded it and bought a Mac 10. So we'll see if they decide to do something that's a bit more fast-paced. Although interestingly, Snav is the one, oh god, those flashbangs, the one who's just lurking over towards B. Altex will find first contact here on the A site. Gets a lot of damage and falls off. Two players on very low HP. Here's a supportive flash arriving and a smoke. Why is there so many of those stupid flash glitches? Infinite, you do not want to go down and lose this AK here, man. Fake drop from Altex. He has kept a lot of players here, but he does go down, so they will recover that AK. That will be Voca's cue to start pushing up mid, and they're going to be heading towards Jaguar. We need to clear this close angle. Person leading the way with low HP. Actually, it's going to be Snav. Insta-kill, so that makes it a 4v4. There's 2 players here to contest, though. Bit of a crossfire. It's going to be Alta Junior here. He's coming up ramp, but nothing found on the side of AM Gaming. I think Altex is just going to peek his head in, and then Keto wants to save this AK, but he actually is the one who goes down first. So what a great redirection from Voca. So losing that force by round, it will be AM Gaming with the full eco, just stacking this B site. Infinite wanting to just make some bank with this Mac 10. It's actually more of the rifles getting the kills, though. QB has been good with that deagle. Although this round, unlike Dust 2, he's not going to be getting a ton of players just walking into his crosshair. He only gets the one. So Lumi will be the first player to get this op out. He will be on the right site. He falls off because he's been blinded, but Lumi repeaks and gets the kill, and Milty finds another one. Voca just stuck, not able to fully make it out ramp. Still need to cross. Lumi does miss the shot, so he is traded. Still a man advantage, and QB fighting this corner here finds another one. And a third. So all onto Infinite with 18 HP. Trying to pick up another AK, but even that one's only got 14 bullets. He's not going to be looking the right way, so it will be a round win for AM Gaming. It's their first. Yeah, very messy B execute from Voca. They'll need to do better in the future. But they do have enough money in the bank for a full buy. Infinite has gotten singed a little bit on that Molotov. Probably no one close to get that info, but the damage is significant at least. Junior with an opening headshot onto QB. Here's this op. I don't think he's ready for this player in cave, although we just saw him. So now the Snap's going to choose to come through this smoke. Snap is aware. Okay, Milty was aware it was a possibility, but he's just not able to find the right timing. That Molly will delay the plant. But then Infinite finds another kill onto Keto, so 2-man advantage for Voca turned into a 1-man advantage. And still no bomb plant. Altex finds another, and the op peeks and finds another one, and just I don't know. Voca's just not able to find control of the site. Not holding crossfires, nothing. Does it make sense that George goes down here? It's just, how does Altex find 3 there? Nice mid-utility, and Keto's been just throwing that aggressive nade and trying to fall back into Donut every round since, like, the second or third. And this time he's punished for it, but then Lumi is able to get another kill back, and then Altex, the hero of the previous round, finds another. More trades back and forth. Voca have some knowledge. Infinite gets a kill onto QB and leaves it in a 1v1. A lot of damage onto Infinite, but with the op in the hands of Lumi, it might not matter. Lumi has repositioned, and I don't think Infinite's aware, but is Lumi just going to wait for him to pick up the bomb? Lumi second guessing it, maybe thinking that Infinite could have pushed back towards T-spawn, but no matter what, he has to pick up the bomb. Like, why this so long of a rotate? I don't know who's overcooking this more. Why is Lumi on B? This is a crazy read. We'll see if it works out for him. I don't think it's going to work out because Infinite doesn't even have enough time to go B now. I don't know who's more confused. Infinite will get the bomb down. Lumi coming in from CT, Infinite going donut, but he has to be aware that Lumi could come from anywhere. It appears someone has relayed the info that Carson should be low. One tap on the bomb. Infinite's going to see he's not on it, so he's going to keep playing. Still not on it. Well played from Infinite, but there's only so much you can do when there's so much time on the clock left. Good clutch from Lumi, though. Looked like he may have way overcooked that, but turns out it was just right. So getting that bomb down means that Voca will choose to invest a little bit into this round. Hero Rifle on Snap, who has been by far the heaviest hitter in this map on Voca. Looking like they're going to make it another B hit, but their B hits have not looked good so far. Lumi gets the opener. And a second, just from the same spot, and QB gets the third. Snap, even with that AK, not able to find anything, so 1v5 for Junior. Yeah, just something's up with Voca's B hits. AM Gaming have put a lot of utility early in the round, but actually the opener ends up going from Cave, and so I'm not. Was that a team kill or just some team damage in the mix? It's a 4v4. It's looking like Voca want to make this another B hit. Somehow AM are reading this though, despite the fact that Voca's B hits have looked awful. They had 3 players here. Actually, yeah, that 3rd player will be rotating in again to watch this ramp. It's been that op finding the opening every time. This time it's QB with the M4. He is able to be traded, and they took down the op in the meantime, so they have a man advantage, but even man advantages on the B side have not been enough for Voca to win these rounds. Keto coming in from cave, and that fight does distract him, and then Keto finds a 2nd and a 3rd. Like, what? Voca just cannot win any rounds on B. I don't know if Voca have a coach with them. Like, I thought their coach was like Semphis or something. He doesn't appear to be behind them, so I mean, I feel like they need someone to take a pause, tell them, like, guys, like, what are you doing? Because it's been a little ridiculous how often they are losing these man advantage scenarios. So that's the same double nade that AM threw in the previous round. This time it finds a lot of damage onto Voca, but the opening kill does go the way of Keto, and then Infinite's actually watching upper, finds a 2nd, so a 3v5 in favor of Voca. I think they've realized, like, hey, every time we go B, we lose a massive man advantage. Altec's being very, very careful to not take any tick from this fire, but he has been seen now by Snap, and Lumi has gotten the kill in the meantime, and then QB somehow gets 2 onto the site. They're gonna lose another 3v5. Okay, it is all onto the op. They should know where it is. Junior picks up the bomb, able to run to the B site. Lumi has read this rotation, but not nearly fast enough to cut this off. No, he's not even going to be able to prevent Junior from getting off the site.
Bomb has been planted.
Is Junior going to push this? Oh. Another amazing round from Lumi, and another 3v5 loss for Voca. It's incredible how often they're losing these. So Voca will take mid again. Lumi being smoked off. Keto just watching this from Donut. Ooh. Finds a lot of damage through that smoke onto Infinite. Carson just tries to fight this op dry, goes down, but it's immediately traded by Infinite, who is the low player. You kind of wanted the roles to be reversed in that scenario. Altec's coming in from CT to watch this. Infinite is actually not looking at the right angle just now, so he goes down to Altex. This bomb is here in cave. 2 players here for AM Gaming, but they're playing 2 ramps, so The site is kind of given away. George gets some great info, but can he find the player? No, he doesn't. George should finally kill the guy, but then there's 2 more players watching it, so nothing more found for Voca. Voca taking somehow their first timeout. I don't know why they haven't taken a timeout after like every single one of these like failed post plants. They will be buying here. Trying to end this half at least 7-5. But if they lose this one without getting a bomb plant, then they'll have not very much going into the final round of the half. Infinite has been Snav has been top fragging for the side of Voca, but all those kills came off of the first few rounds, and since then I think he's only gotten like 1 kill. Well, Voca, not having learned anything, they are going to try and hit this B site once again. A lot of early spam damage, and trades do go the way of AM Gaming, and they have a big health advantage as well. Brought into a 4v2 for AM Gaming. Keto's not watching the right way. The flank from Keto takes him out. George doesn't even fire a shot.
Bomb has been defused. Counter-terrorists win.
It is at least a similar scoreline to the first half of Dust 2, which Voca were almost able to make a comeback, ended 11-13. So it's not impossible, but it's not looking good for the NA squad. And that doesn't help either. One versus 5 for Infinite. Has gotten 2, but he's not ready for QB and Temple. 9 rounds for AM. I think what people sometimes say about like the NA Opper versus the EU Opper difference, because Lumi has just been absolutely cleaning up this game. He was good, but not great on the other 2 maps, but he's just dominating this on Ancient. So, T-side pistol for AM. They're calling an A hit. George has let 1 player walk by, but he actually only gets the 1. He will be traded by Carson. Can he win this fight? There's 3 more players here, so it's a 3v3. Snav will rotate onto the bomb site, and the players from AM haven't made it onto the site just yet. But Nav taking so much damage means it's going to be hard for him to find anything else. Kind of a crazy running shot from Infinite. Has made this doable. You know where the last player is? It's a 1v3. But see if these dualies can go pew pew pew. Not with the instant headshot not being found for QB. Means that Voca have at least won the pistol round. So if they're going to make the comeback, that's how it starts.
Counter-terrorists win.
Yeah, that was a running shot.
Counter-terrorists win.
So Voca have gone aggressive mid and have left the A site completely empty. Not that uncommon, but there is 4 players looking like they want to come out onto the A site early. We'll be all on Junior to contest this, although it does have another teammate rotating in. Junior's blind, but then George gets 2. The trades do go the way of AM Gaming. 1v3 for Infinite, and he's not in the right spot. Oh no. Infinite will need to get a spray through smoke, but everyone's just going to be shooting this now. As if things couldn't be going worse for the NA squad.
Terrorists win.
Not quite sure what happened. It didn't look like anyone disconnected during the round. Not seeing any information in the Discord just yet. We're showing some replays, so I wonder if there is some issue. We're gonna run out of highlights pretty soon because this is pretty much where we are. Still nothing posted in the Discord.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, what just happened was a small power outage here at the venue. What happened was that all the computers suddenly turned off. Luckily, nothing happened with the server as it's on another power group. So the computers are being booted up right now, and the game will be underway in very, very few minutes. I guess we're going to have a round restore, and we're going to pick up where we left off. So nothing major, just very, very unfortunate timing in this epic game here. So yeah, we'll be back very shortly. Thank you.
I'm curious if that means they replay the round. I would feel a bit robbed if I was AM because you just won the force buy. Or if they just mean that basically they're going to give the M4 that Infinite was saving. Hello, Fear. How's it going? I think it's time for elevator music again. I test out doing like trying to do like the melee thing that I suggested, but I don't want to start it like with a tech pause. I don't know if it's going to be 2 minutes or 10 minutes. Let's find a different royalty-free elevator music. Okay, that's just YouTuber music. I want that. Best of elevator music. Is there such a thing as good elevator music? Yeah, okay, that'll do. Oh, wait, hang on. This does not actually say royalty free, and it does say for commercial use of my music, please email me. So actually, let's not do that one. Here's a Kevin MacLeod playlist. Juicy Feet. This is the YouTuber music again. I've heard this so many times. Why do you name one of his musics Juicy Feet? That's kind of weird. The scoreboard does say it's 10-4, so I feel like they are going to give AM that win. Because I'd be really upset if they didn't. I have an idea. Let me... I will do some game dole while I wait. Make sure it's not covering up my whole screen so I can still see the timer when it comes back. Alright, so it's just guess the game based off of the cover art. I have no idea what this is. Okay, so it looks like World War II kind of game. Oh, just jump to a new song. It was very abrupt. So World War II game. Yeah, okay, I can see that. There's like a band of brothers, or that's a TV show. There's something brothers in arms. That's what I'm thinking of. It is not that. Oh, there's a battlefield. Or there's Company of Heroes. That's another one. Let's do 2 because it looks kind of newish. Starts with HE. I don't know what that is. I've never heard of it. Is that guy just like hitting bullets with a katana? What about like no more? I was gonna say no more Room in Hell, but apparently that's not on here. Has like weird zombie movie kind of vibes. Maybe not anymore. Could do like Dying Light. What if it's just like The Division? I have no idea. Oh, okay. Yeah, there is a lot of like spin-offs of Vampire the Masquerade. I've only ever played the original. I'm gonna say I think that's WarioWare. There's a lot of these though, despite the fact that I've never played any of them. Oh, okay. This one feels like it's kind of old. I have no idea though. That's kind of like a Japanese folklore kind of looking thing. But then there's like a knight, so I don't know. Ah, yeah, okay, that's an old one. Oh, hang on. I don't know why I hit that, like I can actually hear the voices in this, but... Oh, it looks like they took the round away from AM. That's... not fair. Like, that's just not right. Like, they won the round, Infinite was saving when the power went out. Hey, how's it going? Just enjoying the last game of the day. Oh, they have their own mini games for us to watch, or something. Yeah, that's not fair to give AM Gaming, like, to take away their round win there. The round was won. Yeah, okay, Infinite should get like an M4 in the next round because he could have saved that, but other than that, give them the round and move on. This map has a hidden room featuring old TV. Well, it's Inferno. Is it still CS Source? I know it used to be in apps, but I know they moved it to church, but I thought it was... I don't know if it's still CS Source. I haven't seen it, actually. Honestly, I bet that's why this tech pause is going on so long, is that AM Gaming are trying to argue that, like, no, we should get that map point. Anything in the Discord yet? No, nothing. Penguin, would it be like Fox? The scoreboard first said 4 to 10, but they've changed it to 4 to 9. But I don't know if there's been an official ruling yet. Is there an SMG in Source? It's not in CS2? Huh. Never played Source, so I don't know. According to HLTV, the players aren't even in the server yet, so it's probably going to be at least another few minutes. Game is on tech pause. Okay, we are getting back into the game, and it is in fact 10 to 4. Good. Although, did they give Infinite his M4? Maybe he dropped it to George, but I'm not quite sure. They called a tactical timeout after we just had like a 10-minute long tech pause. Interesting choice. Oh, that's my music. Shoot, I forgot. Hang on, sorry. I guess we haven't started yet. Aggressive down mid from Voca, but some nice utility damage for AM Gaming in response. Looking like they're going to have a repeat of the second round of the half. And they're going to come 5 out A. This time though, Junior Ear's here to contest. He gets an opening kill with the Deagle, but goes down after that. QB finds a second, leaving us in a 3v2. George takes first contact and goes down, meaning that M4 is probably not recoverable. So Carson's just going to save this pistol. There's some potential for some exit kills here, but not able to peek into the player who doesn't have their weapon out, so he just goes down. I think he actually died to the bomb even. So Voca doing a full save, that means they're basically giving their opponent match and series point. They're going to have to get 8 straight if they want to bring it to overtime. I said that before, they all are in the right spot, but actually AM actually hears them, and so no kills go the way of Voca. I feel so bad that we had like a long tech pause when like it seems the game is only going to go like another 10 minutes. George does get the opener and not able to be traded, but again, Voca are just leaving this A site empty. And AM are taking advantage of that. Molly will delay the bomb plant, and then Junior pushes into the site and gets a kill on a player not expecting it. That said, oh, okay. I was going to say, Voca have lost enough 3v5s in this game that I was not going to be surprised if they ended up losing that, but they do actually manage to get that win. So it's not over yet. That's the first of 7 more to be found if Voca want to bring it to overtime. Altex, despite sitting in his own molly, gets the opening kill onto Infinite, and then he goes down to the 1G. AM have kind of paused, but they are looking to continue this as a B hit. Snav gets 1, but it's instantly traded. But then Carson's able to get a second. 1-man advantage for Voca. Carson too far forward? Okay. I thought Keto was going to find a timing onto Carson because he was too far forward, but thankfully Keto decided to look to the left instead of to the right first, so George gets the kill. So that's 2 of the 8 required to bring it to overtime. love the opening kill into 1G.
Counter-terrorists win.
Okay, fast run onto the B site. I am only able to get a single opening kill, but then not able to get anything else. Just ultex on the lurk.
Counter-terrorists
Okay, plays a little bit slow, but in the end gets nothing done. See if Junior can get anything done with the op, because he was pretty good in the first two maps, but he hasn't been able to find too much impact in this last one. George, I don't know if he saw the guy going into cave. George gets mollied out of this mid cubby and goes down. Now, Junior might get caught looking the wrong way. He does get a kill through the smoke. Don't know if he saw someone or if it was a timing shot. Okay, QB gets an opening kill onto B, and there's trades back and forth. Lumi is going to be way deeper than Carson's expecting, so now it's all on Junior in a 1v3. And he's not even on the right side of the map.
bomb has been planted. Terrorists win.
And AM Gaming win the series. So they advance to the lower bracket final, I believe, where they face the loser of Johnny Speeds and BetClick. It's a little loud. Good result for them, because I was looking at their ranking, and I believe they're only ranked around 100, 120 or something. So this should really improve their ranking. And for Voca, I mean, I feel like they probably could have gone farther, but considering their ranking, getting a lot of LAN wins is probably pretty good for their VRS ranking as well. But that's going to do it for me. Thank you very much for watching. I will be broadcasting the grand finals tomorrow. I'm not going to be doing the first two games because they start at like ass o'clock in the morning. So I'll see you there. I believe it's 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So thank you for watching, and hope you have a good rest of your night.